mean, one of the big things from San Diego Comic-Con was the introduction of the High Evolutionary in
Yes.
Guardians 3.
Yes.
So I don't know about you, Hori, but like, I recognise that name straight away. Don't get me wrong, I didn't know a lot about the character, but it is a name that rings bells instantly for me. Was it that for you, or were you just like, I'm going to assume this is exciting if they're announcing it, but I don't know why?
I feel like It was one of those where I was like, I feel like I've heard this name before, but I don't know. And maybe
Okay.
I've heard it in passing, or someone's mentioned something about it. Like, it's one of those things where like someone's made a prediction in the past, and it's like a name that's thrown in there. But I
Well,
don't really know anything.
well, there's good news because if you're in the
Good
same boat as
news.
Hori, I decided it'd be a good idea to put a little character profile together. As we always do, and I mean it makes sense. So,
Mm-hmm.
High Evolutionary, aka Herbert Wyndham.
What a name.
He first appeared in Thor number 134 back in September 1966.
He's quite old then.
Old boy. He was born in Manchester, England.
Oh, go on.
And here's where it gets really interesting for me. How deeply ingrained he is in the history of Marvel.
Oh.
So he was very interested in the experiments of Nathaniel Essex, who some people recognise as X-Men villain Mr. Sinister, and his like biological alteration and stuff.
I see.
And then when attending a conference in Geneva, he was given the secrets for unlocking genetic codes by an Inhuman.
Oh. Okay.
He then used this to create a serum that would allow him to alter his own genetic code.
Of course he
But
did.
these experiments got him kicked out of Oxford.
I mean, again,
At
not surprised.
which point he recluded to a mountain where he built a lab and started working with one Jonathan Drew.
Okay.
Jonathan has a daughter called Jessica. The keen-eyed and eared among you will know that Jessica Drew is none other than Spider-Woman.
Oh.
So Jessica became ill as a child, and Herbert used a mixture of spider serum and his technology that he'd been working on to treat her. And this is what turned her into Spider-Woman.
Interesting. Didn't know that.
And they all lived up on this mountain working on their stuff, their creepy science stuff.
Of course, on a
And
mountain.
what eventually happened was Jessica's mother died due to an attack from some kind of werewolfy thing. So Jonathan basically went, "Fuck this! I'm out. I need to go look after my daughter."
Mm-hmm.
So that's when Jessica and Jonathan left the mountain.
Okay.
And then Herbert built himself his first power suit.
Oh, okay.
He then took on a new assistant called Warren,
Mm-hmm.
who some people might know as the Jackal, which is another villain. And basically, he just continued to work on and improve his technology so that he was always at the very forefront. And then eventually, he built a citadel on this mountain that, after some problems and people getting in his way from him trying to evolve himself,
Mm-hmm.
he launched it and took his citadel into space to get away from heroes constantly getting in his way. I'm not sure 100% or not, but I think one of his disciples, or maybe even in the film, him himself, might have been who experimented on Rocket.
That is what they seem to be insinuating in the MCU.
I'm not sure if it's the same in the comics,
Okay.
but that seems to be what they're doing for the MCU. That would make sense. And I'm very curious to see what it is. He's kind of, and I always hate doing this because everyone then becomes like, oh, it's just a copycat. He seems kind of similar in character style to Brainiac.
Okay.
But instead of wanting to like collect everything and know everything, he's obsessed with improving himself and evolving everyone else.
Got you.
So I'm very curious to see how large a role he plays in Guardians 3. Whether he's a main antagonist, a side antagonist, or just a secondary character, is going to be very interesting to me.
I'm gonna predict he's a side
Yes,
antagonist,
I think
which I'm sure
we're probably going to get Adam Warlock as the main villain for a fair bit of it, and then at the end it'll be Adam Warlock joining the Guardians to fight High Evolutionary. I feel, but we'll see.